So, welcome to our very first pod call. This is super exciting. We're excited to rock and roll with this, but let's see, it's October 29th. The majority of these calls are not going to be recorded, and we're going to tell you why here. But Lindsay and I kind of just wanted to go over some quick guidelines of what the heck are these calls. You know, if you weren't at conference, you probably don't even know why you're on here. So we're just going to go over some quick guidelines and like, what is this all about and what are the expectations and what can you expect by participating in these calls. But for some of you, I know that some of you that are on my team, like this time actually worked. So it's nice to see you guys on this call. So I just wanted to congratulate everybody first and foremost for making some time this evening for this call because we know it's crazy busy. It's hard to make this business a priority, but you guys did it and you made it on here. So that being said, Linz, do you want me to start? Do you want to start?
Oh, you continue on. You keep going.
Okay, continue on. No pressure, no pressure. Okay, so I'm just going to start with kind of some expectations. Well, maybe we should start what is this call all about? Like if you weren't at conference, we're going to just kind of start with what is this? Okay, so anybody who's on this call, yes, Linz?
Who are you, Lindsay?
Oh, who am I? Yes, that would be a really good place to start. So I am a national marketing director. I brought my business to that level in about 18 months. I'm a personal trainer. I'm a mom of 2 babies. If you guys don't know my story with Juice Plus, it's quite profound. So in a nutshell, I didn't think Juice Plus could do anything for me because I was the healthiest personal trainer there ever was. And 30 days into essentially the Shred 10, I wound up pregnant with my oldest. And right after her, I wound up pregnant with my second. And we have been struggling for about 4 years. I had 3 miscarriages, acne all over my face. That seemed to clear up too. And so Juice Plus is like my little miracle in my family and haven't been able to stop talking about it ever since. And with that being said, all of the leaders that are leading this call, I think we should all introduce ourselves. So that was a great place to start. Linz, so you're up.
Hi, everybody. So I am Lindsay White. I'm from just outside of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And I too am an NMD just earlier this year. I started, it'll be 6 years ago in January, started the product and the business at the same time. My daughter, she's the reason why I went to the internet and I Googled how to boost an immune system naturally, and thankfully Juice Plus came up and there was chewables for kids because my daughter had asthma, lots of allergies and eczema. So obviously I wanted to do it naturally, came across Juice Plus on the internet, thankfully, and I just thought the whole family was going to start because I knew we needed it, even though I was in health and fitness, a personal trainer as well, firefighter husband as well. I knew that we probably could need it, and if we needed it, there must have been other families that needed it as well. So we started with a family plan because of my daughter, and I don't know, I caught the vision in the first conference, so I always say everybody get to conference, because I caught the vision right away, and I just knew within 5 years of being at my first conference, which was 2 months into the business, I knew I was going to be NMD, but I knew crazy was going to happen, so I said in 5 years, and last April was 5 years to the date that our team did make NMD. So.
All right, and then Destia is one of the other lovely ladies who is leadership on this call.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so I am a naturopathic doctor. I have an integrative medical clinic here in Palo Alto. I'm in California, so I live in Half Moon Bay, which is gorgeous, although it was really groggy today. I just returned from Florida. I'm so happy to be back because now they're having a tropical storm. And I found Juice Plus 20 years ago. I found it for my grandfather with cancer, my mom with diabetes, and I was on my way to naturopathic medical school. So I signed up to do the family plan and get a few people in my family taking Juice Plus. My grandfather lived 10 years past his 6-month diagnosis, so I won't stop sharing it now at all. I ended up with chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia with the joy of going to medical school and being a home birth midwife. And then thought, you know what? I look around and I see these people who are doing the Juice Plus business and they look like they're having a lot of fun. And I'm not. So I decided that that was going to be something that I took my focus on. And now I have my medical clinic that I get to see patients 3 days a week, not 5 or 6 days a week. Most of my other docs I know have to do that in order to make ends meet. And I really get to live the life of my dreams. I get to travel and enjoy my life, and I get to have fun while doing my Juice Plus business, because when I work from home, I get to hike in the woods with my friends, meet for coffee, have Zoom calls, although, you know, this isn't probably the most fun thing you've done all day. It's still a lot better than what could be. And so, you know, I love what I do, and I love what I'm building from home. I just came back from a week away in which my Juice Plus check would come in just the same, but as a medical doc, I had to cancel all my patients because my father-in-law passed away, and I needed to be with my family, and no income came in, but I still paid my staff just the same. So I love that this business allows us to live in our lives, be in our lives, and integrates into our lives. And it's really, really, really powerful. So that's why I'm here.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. So hopefully you guys
And I'm also an NMD.
Also,
I don't know if I said that. ND, NMD kind of gets lost in the shuffle. There's too many D's and N's in my life.
Right? Oh, that's funny. And then Jessica Donatone is also going to be leading these calls with us, but she is on an airplane, so can't join us this evening, but she is a QNMD shooting for NMD, and a lot of her team is on this call too. So so she will give us her bio next week when she's able to hop on, but recognize a lot of faces from her team here as well. So we just learned at conference, and this is something that we've known, that combining heads is always easier. You know, I might have a certain idea, Destia might have a different idea, Jess, Lindsay. So 4 heads is always better than 1. And then, you know, you guys are all, if you're on this call, you should be you should have a qualified business shooting for SC, right? Is that correct? Yes. Okay. Just making sure. We added a lot of calls here. So does everybody have a qualified business shooting for SC? If your business is not qualified and you are not a VF, then this call is on a different time schedule for you. So you should have a qualified business, be a VF to be on this call, okay? And the power in that is you guys are all shooting for the same exact thing. We're going to be giving you guys some homework, some things to work on together. Some of the things that we want you to do is kind of communicate amongst each other, share each other's challenges, brainstorm together. You guys are all trying to accomplish the same exact goal. Who's doing, so I see that some people were on the wrong call because a couple of people, okay. But so everybody will pay attention to that call schedule. Each group of people will have their own call, all right? So I'm glad I made that little announcement. But tonight what we want to do is kind of set the expectation of what this call, what should you get from being on this call, what is required to be on this call, and kind of, this is meant to be an accountability thing. You know, one of the biggest, amazing, wonderful things about this business is that we don't have a boss. But one of the hardest things is that we don't have a boss, right? And so, you know, we're going to be giving you guys a few homework assignments every single week that we would expect that you would complete it every bit as much as if it was an assignment, well, not an assignment, but like a deadline for work, right? Or a homework assignment that you had to turn into your professor or so forth. Does that make sense? Like, so we are going to be holding you accountable to the things we're asking you to do. Everybody's time is important, and so we want to make sure everybody's getting the most out of these calls. So we will be giving you some homework assignments. Recording. we are not going to be recording these calls at all. We are going to record this first one, maybe the second one, but thereafter. And we want you guys to kind of chime in on these calls. So feel free to unmute, participate in this, come prepared, armed with questions. But one of the main reasons, and you guys can chime in on this because I want your guys' opinion. Why do you guys think we're not going to record these calls? Any ideas?
So we don't skip the call.
Okay, and why would that be important, maybe?
So that it's more interactive?
More interactive, yeah. What are some other reasons?
Lots of times you don't watch the recording after.
Touche. Or it's not as impactful, right? Like if I'm on a recording and the doorbell rings, I'll hit pause and go answer it and then forget I was even doing it, right? I don't know if there's any other busy moms, but gosh, life happens. But if I set time aside for this call and it's a half hour, I'm making sure my babies are sleeping, the dog is fed, my phone is on silent, right? Like nothing's going to interrupt me doing this call, right? So do you have anything to add to that, Destia or Lindsay?
Babies aren't sleeping here quite on the West Coast.
Fair enough.
I was just going to say that also just because with the not recording thing is, I think it's important that, yes, like exactly like you were saying, Lindsay, like we don't have bosses. We don't want to make this something that we feel like it's not fun to do. But we're putting our time into all these teams. And so we kind of would hope that the expectations are the same with everybody else. So if we're going to be getting on these calls, we want everybody to do so and participate because we truly want the best for you guys and want you guys to achieve your next goal, obviously getting to SSC as fast as you can, so or SC as fast as you can.
Rick, I saw that your hand was up.
Well, she kind of not exactly took what I said or what I was going to say, but also if everything, which what you were referring to earlier was, you know, that there's going to be homework and held accountable, not accountable, but, you know, set a standard for, you know, there's expectations that go along with this call. If you record it, then anyone can watch at any time at their leisure, and it kind of takes away some of the, you know what I'm trying to say though, like
Yeah, it takes away some of the impact.
If you can watch at any time,
gotten from watching it live. You know, before we leave here, I want everybody to know exactly what we're doing. If you have questions about the homework, be able to pick, you know, Destia's brain, Lindsay's brain, Jess's brain, my brain before you get off this call, and each other's as well, right? We might give you a homework assignment and I don't know, Teresa might have the best idea of how to approach it that none of us thought of. And then Sonia can back it up and be like, oh my gosh, I tried Teresa's idea and it was amazing, right? So there's power in working together. And if you're not here live, it would just be difficult to do that. So that's like kind of expectation number one, show up. We kind of came up with the guideline that if you're not on the call 3 times in a row, we'll have a conversation with your upline as to if you're going to be invited to participate in this call, just because we so want to pour our time and our energy into you, but you have to want it back, right? We can't want it more than you want it. Although sometimes I think as uplines we do. We're like, yes, we want you to hit NMD. Yes, you know. So just out of respect, like we want a mutual respect on this call. And I think some of these guidelines are what will kind of help keep that up and keep the energy high and keep it positive and everything like that. So kind of the expectation is life happens. We understand you can't be on 100% of the calls. But if you're missing consistently, we'll just kind of have a conversation with you as to like, Rick, how come you're not making the calls? Like, is everything okay? Like, can I be of any further assistance to you? Or like, how can we make this a priority? Does that make sense? Does everybody agree to that?
I think one other thing too that's important too is, and I think like Lindsay, we can speak to that too, like how cool it's been to grow our businesses together. And so when you guys see everybody's faces on these calls every week, it also builds that sideline buddy, and there's power in having sideline buddies too. So, and growing your business together. And so if you reach get to each graduation call and get to each level together, that's also a lot of fun. There's a lot of power in that as well.
Yeah, I can't imagine my business without my sideline buddies. So yes, very important.
Yeah, and you guys might not even know each other on this call, but by the time you're, like Lindsay had mentioned, these graduation calls, we're going to have a little graduation ceremony when you guys step up to the next level. So it'll be like the graduating class of October, right? Or November, moving up to SC. So it'll be really fun. And, maybe Sonia hits SC this next month, and then Rick's like, how did you do that? I've been trying. Like, let's combine forces here. So it kind of leads to my next question. I kind of am muting people out because there was an echo, but feel free to unmute because we want participation in this call. But we had thought about doing kind of like a pod chat so you guys can interact with each other outside of this call. Like, let's say we give you the homework assignment, and this week it's going to be put 3 to 5 events on your calendar. Is that what we decided, Linz?
Yeah.
Okay, 3 to 5 events on your calendar, right? And maybe after you get one event, you're super excited and you post and you're like, oh yeah, oh my gosh, that was our homework. I need to get on that. But somebody posted, so it reminded you to get on it, right? So question, are the majority of us on Voxer? Are the majority of us on Facebook? Do we want another group? Is that something that you guys would motivate you? What are your guys' thoughts on that?
What if, oops, sorry, maybe that's mine that was echoing.
No worries.
Was there an echo? Was there an echo?
Yeah, you're okay. Go ahead and say what you were going to say.
What if you create or whatever a Facebook page specifically for this group? Like an own Facebook page for the graduating class of October. ...
Any other thoughts? Who else wants to chime in on that?
I think like a Facebook Messenger group would just be easier than an actual page. Those have been
you're a perfect person to chime in on this because we were kind of doing a call similar to this. And I think the Facebook Messenger the Facebook Messenger chat was really powerful because it was kind of like, oh my gosh, monkey see, monkey do, right? Sonia got 3 events on her calendar already. I need to do that. And it motivated me to do that. Or someone had a win and they shared like a positive, like, hey, I had a conversation for the first time with a doctor today. So invigorating. Is everybody on Facebook Messenger? If we were to create, show me hands. If we were to create Facebook Messenger with like the shooting for SC people. Okay. So I see everybody's hand up here.
Hey, Lindsay.
Yes.
It's Tala. My only thing with the messenger is that if someone posts like a screenshot of something, it gets totally lost in the feed. Whereas like if it's in a group, then you can go into the files and find the document or whatever.
Well, this isn't for information like that. It would be more for encouragement. It would be more for like, hey, I got my homework assignment done. Who else followed through with that? So it shouldn't be anything super important, just like a cheerleader, like to touch base with each other, give us ideas.
Okay, I thought it was more for like here's the script I was using kind of a thing. But yeah, okay.
Cool.
Makes sense. Okay, and we don't have too much longer.
So we got one more
what
question.
Else, Linz?
We have one more question, hey? For them before they go. They only got 6 minutes to do so.
Okay.
Okay, so if everybody can at some point unmute themselves who's in this group, and we want to hear what month you will be making, what group are we in? SC. Nobody's stepping up to say when they're going to make it.
I'll go first because Lindsay and I just actually worked on this the other day. So I'm shooting for December right now, end of December.
Awesome.
I'm shooting for November.
Who said that?
Beth.
Beth.
Yay, Beth.
I'm shooting for December also with you, Sonia.
End of December.
Way to go, Shonda. We got a lot of Decembers. Anybody else? Who else do we have?
Rick?
January.
January.
Can I say how much I love the name Shonda? What a great.
Lindsay, what about you?
I'd say December or January, whatever I can do fastest. I've got somebody I want to actually sign up as a distributor tonight, so.
Can I step up and say you have to choose a month?
Sure. All right. January.
January, okay. Did we get everybody?
Teresa?
She's a leader. She's a leader on the call.
Oh, sorry. I was just calling names.
I'm just going through. What about Stacy?
She might have a baby that's not asleep.
Okay.
Well, December.
Oh, December. Okay.
December? Okay. What about Christy?
Number.
I'll say January.
January.
And Tala's a leader on the call,
Okay.
just so you know.
I would say January as well.
Okay.
Awesome. So we got a couple of big months coming up here, you guys.
Absolutely.
Does everyone know what they need to get to SC? Too many to get to sales coordinator. They're exactly clear on how many teams they need, how many PVC they need, because that's something you definitely want to know, especially if you're going for November or December.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. I actually don't. That's why I said January, because I need to talk with Jess or Nancy and be more clear about what I need.
Well, and that's something that we can specifically focus on these upcoming calls too. So tonight was just kind of like an overview. You know, one thing that will get you anywhere in this business is talking to more people, right? Would we all agree? Like the more people you talk to, the more your business is going to thrive, the more customers you're going to have, the more representatives you're going to have, and so forth. But we can really break down the details and brainstorm next week. Does that sound like a good idea for everybody? Make sure everybody understands every nook and cranny of that promotion.
Yeah.
All right. So in effort to be able to do that, 3 to 5 events is the challenge on your calendar between now and next meeting, next Sunday. Okay, and an event could be a phone conversation, a text message, a coffee date, a live event that you go to, a boot camp. Anybody else?
I have 3 Dr. Sears events coming up, so we're good.
Yeah, your calendar might already have 3 to 5 on it, but that's something that we want on a regular basis. Your calendar controls what you do in this business, and that's what we're looking for. Any questions on the homework or what this call is meant to be or supposed to be or the expectations on it? Who's excited? I'm so excited we're all coming together and doing this. This is like power in numbers. And, you know, so many heads are better than just a few of ours. So I'm super stoked to see how y'all working together and us working together can really help promote everybody's businesses to where they want to be. We have big goals on here too, leadership, right?
Yeah.
So perfect. All right. Well, if any other final words, Lindsay, Destia?
Just make it a priority. I know it's going to be tough because we all have busy lives. I've never met a person who doesn't, even my retired mom. So it's our job to make it a priority.
That's And I just want to say that I'm super excited for everybody because I think that these will be very powerful if they continue to be effective and everybody shows up. I'm really excited for the outcome for everybody. So.
And then what you get out of it is what you put into it. So we need you present and engaged because that's really how you're going to get the most out of it.
Absolutely. And Linz, did we hit on everything that you and I had spoke about prior? Okay, cool. All right. So